just a quick story. We did a fire drill, and with the big downtown city businesses. What we found bringing all those guys together from all the high rises, they all had the same meeting place for an evacuation zone. They had never figured that out until we just brought them to the table. Second story, Goldman Sachs. Anybody heard of Goldman Sachs? I got a phone call from one of their representatives, and they said, hey, what's going on? We've got a big gas leak in Salt Lake City. We need to know what to do with our employees. Salt Lake City was handling it, but they didn't have anything online or anything like that that I could point them to at the time. They do now, since then. They needed information quickly to make business decisions that impacted their employees for a gas leak in Salt Lake City. If we shut one of the floors down to that big Zions Bank on the 8th floor, I think it's $800,000 a minute. So they want to be involved, just invite them to the table, they're willing to help. We started getting ready for coordinating with the private sector when the Olympics came to town. And then we had a big flood in 2005. Yes, there is flooding in Utah, it does happen on occasion. But that's what prompted this Be Ready Utah campaign. As a part of Be Ready Utah, we launched what's called the Ready Your Business program, and I'll briefly touch on that in just a second. But one thing that had also came out of this was our Private Sector Coordinating Council. We brought more than, it's probably up to 200 now, critical infrastructure, energy, transportation, private companies, Smiths, Walmart, grocery stores, banking industry, all of these representatives together on a council that meet on a monthly basis to talk with emergency management, local and state, and federal. We've actually developed some sector-specific councils off of the coordinating council. So what's happening is on the energy sector, they've got the power company, the gas company, and some of these representatives meeting as a group on a regular basis. They went to the governor and said, Governor, we want to make these 4 priorities as our projects for the steering committee. Once again, this is not coming from us. This is coming from the private sector directly to the governor. And the governor said, green light, full speed ahead, let me know how it goes, I want to report back. Here's some other success stories that we've had. The banking reciprocally aid. This was signed just recently. Media came to the State Emergency Operations Center. This is the Utah Bankers Association president, along with our governor, along with representatives from several other banks. Basically, the agreement says, in an emergency, competition is off. If the Wells Fargo is down and this bank is up, you can come on over and you'll get your banking services. Bank said in an emergency, we're friends, people need the help. This was a huge, huge agreement. Part of the state fair, we did a media event. We actually got the bank CEO out, an emergency manager, a legislator, the Salt Lake City mayor, Walmart, at a media event. And as you can see there, nobody from the state's talking. We let them run the show. This is our 12-point business continuity program. Just a basic 12 points to help your business prepare for disasters and emergencies. We offer this free. We go around the state. We'll teach it to chambers of commerce, businesses, and this has been a huge success for us in reaching the private sector and letting them know about what's available in disaster preparedness for businesses and why they are so important in emergencies. Even better, they get recognition. And they get recognized by the lieutenant governor and a certificate signed by the governor saying you have completed this program. We actually have an annual Ready Your Business conference just for the private sector. It's a major conference. We have several hundred people show up, private sector and local emergency management, and they love this. They love getting recognized. That the governor and lieutenant governor of the state see them and tell them this is a priority to us and we want to recognize you for that. And then we invite their peers from other businesses to talk about what they're doing to prepare their employees for emergencies and disasters. They don't have to hear from us. They get to hear from their peers on how they do it because they know. We've also printed in Utah's premier business magazine a 16-page Ready Your Business special insert section. We've done that for a few years now. We're also working with the Utah Broadcasters Association, PSAs. We did a PSA with the governor for 6 months. We committed $36,000 of our emergency preparedness funds and we got almost $900,000 worth of bad time out of that. And it ran about, just over 12,000 times. So, Earthquake PIO workshop. We did a 2-day workshop just specifically focusing on media relations and the Joint Information Center, Joint Information System for PIOs. And guess who was there? The gas company and the power company. And state agencies, city, FEMA came out with our region. It was awesome. They saw themselves, they are a part of our team now. We really don't do anything without inviting them. Earthquake preparedness. This is our new Utah Preparedness for Earthquakes guide. We were able to put this in one weekend in almost every single local newspaper in the entire state, which was a huge undertaking and had never been done before, and couldn't have been done without the private sector support. We did a webinar for a couple of hundred bank employees. It was a 1-hour, be prepared for your family, and they were able to jump online. We had one of our preparedness specialists do a webinar. And lastly, we were getting ready for our big 2012 exercise, and the private sector is involved, and looking at also integrating them possibly in a business operations center. And this is just a few of who we're getting help from. So there is power out there. We couldn't put everybody on here. Just to give you an idea, there's lots of good things out there.